Hello, I'm Nikki Avery, personal training coach with The Body Architect, and I'm here this morning with Jennifer Cummings from Full Circle Landscaping. And she approached us earlier to do a conditioning program, strength building program for her landscaping crew. So we're going to do that this morning. So Jennifer, what kind of things are you looking for from this program?
I think, Nikki, that the most important thing for us is just to be able to start our spring season strong. So your expertise and the exercises you can give us to work on before we actually have to get out there, I think will make us our strongest.
Great. So you heard it here first. Spring is going to arrive.
Yes.
And we're going to get ready for it, and we hope you will as well. So let's get started.
Yay.
So this is core strengthener number 1. It's called the Hover Core. I'm going to have Jennifer take her yoga block and put it between her knees. If you don't have a yoga block, you can do it without, or you can use something else to squeeze between your knees. Now I'm going to have her engage that whole core midsection. Press that lower back down into the ground. So take that natural arch out of the back. Press that back into the ground as hard as you can. Now, once you have that back secured, she's going to barely raise those feet up, thus the hover, and that core is working. She's nice and quiet, doesn't look like she's working that hard, but that core is really working hard. As she squeezes that block, those inner legs are going to work a little harder. And as soon as that back starts to come up off the floor, she's done. She's going to lower her feet, maybe rest a couple seconds, and repeat 2 or 3 times. Now, if you need to make this a little bit easier, before you build up that core strength, you can remove the yoga block, do that same thing, set that back against the floor, and then she's just going to do a little march. She's going to lift only 1 foot at a time, just a little bit. Good. So now that core is working at a little bit easier level, but progressing that strength up. So great core strengthener. You can do it every day, and it only takes a couple of minutes. That's core strengthener number 1. The second core strengthening move is the plank. It is an oldie but goodie. It works everything: triceps, core, glutes, hamstrings, quads. Jennifer's in the perfect position here. She's got a straight line from her head, her shoulders, her hips, all the way down to heels. Her shoulders are squared up over her elbows. Perfect position. Now she's got a strong plank.
Resting a minute before the toes.
If she wants to make this plank a little bit harder, I'm going to have her just barely lift 1 foot off the ground, put it back down, go to the other foot. That forces that plank to work a little bit harder. Good job. To make it easier, you bring those knees down, but maintain that straight line from knees to hips to shoulders, and that head is up nice and straight. Perfect job. So the next move is the squat that you're using constantly during landscaping. So one of the things, I'm going to have Jennifer pick up that weight. Notice how she walked right up to the weight and is keeping it close to her body. Very important. You don't want to be picking weight up if it's away from your body. So now she's got it gripped close to her body, and she's going to go into a squat by shifting those hips back, keeping her weight in her heels, chest up, and then as she powers up, she's coming up out of those heels. So a couple of important things. Hips are back and knees are staying over the feet. They're not driving forward. That's going to protect that back and those knees. She's keeping chest up, powering through. And the whole time she's doing this, she's keeping that core, that good strong core engaged. Nice job. So this next demonstration, we're actually going to demonstrate how not to lift something up. So I'm going to have Jennifer take, again, that small shrub and lift it up. Notice how her hips are up and her shoulders are coming down, her back is flat. When she goes and lifts up that shrub, that format, it's going to force her back to do a lot of the work. And we want to avoid that. So instead, she's going to use that strong squat as she leans over to the side. She's going to squat down. Notice how low her hips are. Shoulders are high. Now power up out of those hips. She's taken all the work out of that back and kept it in her hips. So go ahead and repeat that a few more times, Jennifer. So that's the move that you want to be exercising. Squatting, shoulders up, power up out of that. That's going to keep that back nice and strong. And this is a great movement you can do with no weight, or you can add a little bit of weight to it as you get stronger. Perfect. So this last move is a great stretch for the end of a long day. I'm going to have Jennifer step up onto our imaginary stone wall, and then she's going to keep that back straight as she leans forward. She's bringing both hands into the inside of that leg, and as she reaches that stone wall, she's going to use that for a little bit of support and just hold that there. Notice how straight her back is. She's getting a great stretch up the right leg, right glute, and into that lower back. And she's just going to hold for a little bit. How's that feel, Jennifer?
Really good.
So you might hold that for 30 seconds or so, and then slowly come back up to standing. And switch legs.